How are you? Thank you so much for tuning in to today's presentation on how to research your options of colleges and universities in the United States of America. If you want to study in the US, and you have tuned into the right station today or to the right video. My name is Chinanya Wadileke, and I am an Education USA advisor with the US Consul General in Lagos. And I'll be talking to you about researching your options. To start us off, Education USA is a network of over 400 advising centers in 178 countries and territories around the world. Here in Nigeria, we have 6 centers in Lagos, Abuja, Calabar, Ibadan, Jos, and Kano. And all advisors are here to give you accurate, current, and comprehensive information on steps you can take to study in the US. If you want to find out more about Education USA and our centers, please feel free to log on to our website, www.educationusa.state.gov. Now, today, I want you to ask yourself questions. As you research your options, you want to know the best fit for you when it comes to a university, okay? And so there are a few questions that you should ask yourself as you do this research. First question is, why study in the US? Many people choose to study in the US for various reasons, but here are some of the top reasons why people choose or students choose to study in the US. The quality of the academic institutions is very sound. There's a lot of variety as to where you can study and what you can study. There's a lot of flexibility in designing your course of study. Some students are able to major in one area, minor in another area. Some students are able to do different kinds of programs that appeal to them, while at the same time doing engaging in extracurricular activities. And there's so many opportunities for students to practicalize their education, to gain some experience, to do a study abroad program. There are many opportunities when it comes to study in the US. Another question you should ask yourself is, where will you best fit in? Very important. With over 4,000 accredited higher education institutions, you have to choose one that's right for you. They're public institutions, they're private institutions, and the difference is not in quality, but in terms of who funds it, okay? Public institutions are funded by the state or the government where they're located, whereas private institutions are funded by alumni, endowments, the students who attend, foundations, or whoever believes in their mission and their vision. There are large institutions that have as many as 50,000 students. That's a lot. And there are small institutions with as few as 500 to 1,000, maybe 2,000 students. It depends on your personality and the kind of environment you like to be in. There are research institutions where professors are working on groundbreaking research. They're involving their students in the research. They're publishing papers, and they're just doing so much to add to the body of knowledge that already exists. There are colleges where professors are there because they love to teach. They love to engage with their students. They love to interact, and they love to, feel like they're imparting knowledge into their students. So if you're the kind of person that wants that more personal touch, you might think of attending a college. There are liberal arts colleges where students are able to do or explore different majors before deciding on that one which they feel is right for them. There are also community colleges where the non-traditional student can sort of, start slowly. When I talk about non-traditional, I mean students who might be older in age, students who maybe after high school, they didn't delve straight into a bachelor's degree program. So they're a bit older than, their classmates. You might want to start at a community college. The beauty of a community college is that you do your first 2 years, is more affordable, and then you transfer to an accredited 4-year institution where you can complete your bachelor's degree program. So you want to look for schools that have a transfer agreement with the community college that you might be applying to. There are co-ed institutions. Men and women attend co-ed institutions. Most institutions in the US are co-ed. But then there's some same-sex institutions that have existed for hundreds of years. And the beauty is that if you're that kind of person that knows you want to be around people of your gender, if you want to build your leadership skills, if you want to really have that opportunity to have, the same kinds of people in your class, then you might want to think about a same-sex institution. A same-sex institution that comes to mind that has graduated some really famous people is Wellesley College in Massachusetts. Hillary Clinton, former presidential candidate, graduated from Wellesley College. Madeleine Albright, who was the first female Secretary of State in the US, graduated from Wellesley College. And a popular Nigerian musician and actor and actress and artist, Onyeka Onwenu, also graduated from Wellesley College. And there are also faith-based institutions and secular institutions. Faith-based institutions might have special classes that students must take before they can graduate. Whereas at secular institutions, you're not, required to do anything that's religious-based. But the thing is that whether it's faith-based or secular, they will admit any kind of student regardless of your beliefs or lack thereof. So the point is there are over 4,000 options for you to explore. Think about what is a good fit for you, where you feel like you would be excited to go to, happy with the degree you get, at, and that's where you should be applying to. Another question for you to think about is what programs of study are available at this institution that you're researching? Okay. If you're interested in the STEM field, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, if you're interested in the arts, the humanities, the social sciences, whatever you're interested in, make sure that that institution has your program of study and it's available at the level you want it. Whether it's at a bachelor's, a master's, a PhD, a postdoc, you want to be sure that the program of study you're interested in is available at that institution. You also want to ask yourself, will you need financial aid? It costs quite a bit of money to study in the US. So will you need any sort of funding to help reduce that cost of attending a US institution? If yes, then your research should include institutions that can give some sort of scholarship, fellowship, assistantship, grants, any kind of money that you don't have to pay back. That's what you should be looking out for when you do your research. Another question you must ask yourself is, who will you study with? What are the demographics of students that are going to be attending the school you're looking at? Okay. Are they people that look like you? Are they people from different countries? Are they predominantly from one particular location? That's something that might be of interest to you. I know it was to me. When I went to graduate school in the US, I really wanted an international environment, and that's exactly what I got. I had students from countries like Latvia, Lithuania, Kazakhstan, countries that you usually don't hear so much about. And I was, in my own classes, I was one of the only African women or women of color. So I brought a wonderful perspective to our classroom discussions and also gained a lot from my students who were from other countries. So I left college feeling much more accomplished, and I felt like I made friends from different parts of the world, and that enriched my life. So think about that. Another question you want to think about is, where will you live? What location of the United States are you most interested in living at? You see, from the East Coast to the West Coast, it's vastly different. Okay, so think about yourself as an individual. Do you like warm weather? Do you like cold weather? Are you indifferent? Okay. Think about, are you a very formal kind of person? Are you more like a laid-back kind of person? The location could influence where you go study. So think about those things and see what's important to you. You also want to think about the application and financial aid deadlines. Very important. As you're applying, you'll see that some deadlines are earlier than others. Some institutions actually have their financial aid deadline earlier than their application deadline. So if you're applying to an institution and the deadline is, very close, then you haven't given yourself enough time to apply correctly or put your best foot forward. So think about that as you apply. Ideally, you need 12 to 18 months to do your research and to find the best fit for you before you start applying. So start early. That's the first step to achieving your dreams. You want to study in the US? Awesome. Use this opportunity to go online and start looking for those institutions that can meet your need. Okay? You should be finding institutions that have what you want, not you matching yourself to an institution that's already existing. To summarize what I said, for one last thing I want to say is you also want to make sure that that institution is STVP certified. That means that the student and exchange visitor program has certified it as an institution where international students should be applying to. That means they can issue you an I-20. That means when you go for your visa, the consular officer will have it on a website. And the website to use to do that search is Study in the States. I'm going to blow it up a bit for you to see. studyinthestates.dhs.gov/school-search. Okay, so this website is very important for you to ensure that the university or college you're applying to is STVP certified. And in a nutshell, you want to use this criteria to narrow down your search. Do they have your program of study? Are they located in an area you would enjoy living in? Do they cost an amount that you can afford? Is their financial aid something that you would be happy with if you received? Do they have a good reputation? That means, are they accredited? What is your size? How large or small are they? How diverse is the student body? What extracurricular activities do they have? What sports? What clubs? What groups? What's their faculty into researching on, especially for graduate students? How far is it from home, especially if you have family in the US and you feel like you want to be spending some of your time with that family member when you have breaks, okay? So you want to use these criteria to narrow down your search to a number of schools that you can now go into their websites to do more research. And to help you start, I'm going to give you 2 websites for undergraduate students. These are websites that will help you do your research: bigfuture.collegeboard.org and nces.ed.gov/college navigator. College Navigator is a website by the Department of Education, and these 2 search engines can really help you whittle down that search to a bite-sized number of schools that you can now go in depth and find out more information about. For graduate students, the website I would give you is gradschools.com, petersons.com, and princetonreview.com. These 3 websites will truly help you be able to start that research. Okay, this is just a starting point. You can definitely go more in depth on the school's website. Each school's website will have the exact information that you might be looking for. But this is a way for you to narrow down your search, because at the graduate level, you have about 1,000 accredited higher education institutions to choose from. Finally, I would leave you with this thought: don't try to match yourself to a school. Instead, you want to find a school that matches you, your priorities, your long-term goals, your personal requirements, your financial requirements, and your academic requirements. It's very important because you want to be happy during the time you're spending studying in the US. I know I was, so you definitely want to be happy.